Hi, thanks for watching this Tower Defense Toolkit overview video. My name is Song, the creator of the toolkit. I'm going to spend the next few minutes talking to you and show you how to use this toolkit, as well as showing you some of the things it can do. So I have myself a fresh copy of Tower Defense Toolkit here. Let's get started. So I'm going to start by showing you how to create a simple scene. So you do this by access the top panel and just a click of a button, and that's it. The scene is good to go. Right, you can build tower on it. You can spawn the crepes, and there we go. So now let's take a look at how things work. So these are all the components you have in a toolkit. You can probably tell from the name what each of them do. So the game controls the logic, the spawn manager do the spawning, the build manager control what towers to build, the path is the path, and so on and so forth. Now let's take a look at build manager and the platform. As you can see in this scene, as well as if you have played the demo, all the tower has to be built on certain platforms. So this is actually the platform, so they works fairly straightforward. So they are a game object which you can configure their scale or position or rotation, and they are assigned to build manager, or you can just let it auto assign. I'm going to do that just to show you. So I'm not assigning anything. The build manager will automatically locate all the build platforms. You can have as many platforms as you want, so let's duplicate a few. Alright, and then give them different sizes and shape. This one is a bit too close to the path. Let's shrink it a bit. Right, so there you go. They all should work. So as you can see, it's pretty flexible, right? So, and you can probably tell as well, you can select which tower can be built on which platform, but we're not going to go to do that. Now let's move on to path. So path is basically where the creeps move. So it actually is a component with a list of waypoints. So the waypoint are just empty transform, indicate the position in a 3D space. I'm going to switch to another example just to show you, because there's only 2 waypoints here. We need more. So this is a prefab a scene I created earlier. So the path is obviously a lot more longer. So you can tell they're assigned properly. So you can adjust the waypoint however you want. So you can tell the blue line will reflect the actual path when in runtime. So yeah, you can adjust them however you want, and yeah, there we go. And now we move to a more interesting idea, that is, instead of assigning an empty waypoint to the path, what I can do is I can assign a platform to the path. So now you can see the blue line indicates the next transform is actually the waypoint itself, and I can still move this around. The path will still work, but what difference is, whenever you assign a platform, the platform becomes an open area which the creep needs to traverse through, right? So in that sense, you can still build tower on it, of course. Let me just enable the UI. Right. Now I can build tower on it to block the path. Now you can see indicator they have to go through. Now if I remove this, next time round it will just go through the shortest path. And now if I block it, it has to find another way around. So that's interesting, right? And the good thing about the path is you can have as many paths as you want. Now that this is a bit complicated, let's move on to a more simple scene. Back to the first one. you can have 2 or 3, right? And they should work. Now this brings me to spawn manager. Now spawn manager is where we configure the spawn info, means what we want to spawn, how many do we want them, so on and so forth. As you can see, you can assign a path here, path 1, which is the default path, and now I'm going to add path 2. So let's open up the spawn info. So these are the spawn info. So I have the default path, I have the first wave, which is this vehicle here, 3 units of them. So I can add more wave, I can add more unit, I can change the unit count, I can change different kind of unit, give it a delay, and so on and so forth. I can change how many resources should the player gain if they manage to clear the wave, and you get the idea. And if you are too lazy, just use auto generate, right? And all the how do you control the parameter of auto generate? You can do them here, which is this is of course you can use them for the endless mode. So everything has to be procedurally generated. Now we just stick to finite. Now we have 2 units, which is good. Now we want it to move through path 2 for the second unit. Oops. Right. Let's stick that here so it won't go away. Path 2. Now play. Oop. Now we don't need this anymore. Let's shut it. Activate the UI. Now the second unit should come from this path 2 seconds after the first spawn. Right. As you can see, it's very simple, very straightforward. Imagine the things you can do with a combination of the waypoints, the platform, and all that configuration you get in the spawn manager. Now let's bring on more stuff, shall we? We move on to the ability manager. You can probably tell from this here, or even if you have played the demo, you can actually do all sort of ability here. So these are the extra system in the toolkit, so to speak, and they are fairly customizable. So you just open the editor, say you want to create a new ability. What they want to do they require targeting, or do they require targeting of a single unit only, hostile or friendly? And what they want to do they damage the unit? Do they apply slow, or do they buff them? So yeah, it's however you want it. And that's it. And then we move on to perk manager. I should show you FPS control, but I'll do that later. So the perk manager works almost the same as the ability manager, but it's different. Obviously, it used to building a tag tree of some sort. So you can see there's a variety of perk you can do. Each of them do different thing. For instance, you can add a new tower to the game, add a new ability to the game, modify the life regeneration over time, modify the tower stat of all tower, modify certain specific tower like this one here. It modifies the MG tower, pulse, and beam tower, and this one here modify cannon tower, artillery tower, and so on and so forth. You can modify, for instance, this modifies the ability. This one adds a new ability. If I want to modify all tower, as you can see, I can give them bonus hit point. I can increase their damage. I can increase their critical chance, so on and so forth. And they have all sort of requirement that you can set up with. Let's say I require pulse laser Mark II in order to unlock this, or I require minimum wave of 10 before this perk become available. As you can see, it's pretty comprehensive, and in theory you can build a fairly complex tag tree with this. And what I did is I made this. If you have played the demo, you would have noticed a very simple tag tree, but I am lazy, so there you go. And let's move on to the final component, which is the FPS control. So this is the first person shooter mode. If I build a tower, I can go into the first person shooter mode. Okay, now if I press escape, so yeah, and FPS mode works pretty much like everything else. You open the editor and you build a prefab, you drag it into it, and you configure it straight away. So what does the weapon do? For instance, this one has a clip size of 30, do this much of damage. The laser, can it critical, and can it slow the target down? Does it kill the target instantly? And so on and so forth. Yeah, so plenty of customization option here. And let's see, do I miss anything? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, once again, thank you for watching. If you like the toolkit, I'm gonna do a free version soon, pretty soon. You can try that out, or better still, buy the package. I appreciate that. Right, so thank you. Bye.